Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today I've been up since 4:30 this morning, and there is a reason behind that, and that's sort of the topic of today's video, which I'm going to go into and break it down into a couple of little topics. But there is honestly a reason behind this, and each topic leads on for the general topic of the whole video. So stay tuned, and hope you enjoy the little video. I'll try and make it as short as I can. So while I was up at 4:30, this is topic number one really. I'm going to talk about November's fitness and a little bit of a rewind to October's fitness, just to give a quick recap of what I did, and then November's fitness and today. So in October, remember I did the 100-mile running challenge. Doesn't sound too hard for most people if they're into endurance running, but if you're a bodybuilder, well, then obviously 100 miles is quite hard to achieve. You know, some people are doing the old couch to 5k run. So this was a 100-mile run I set myself. Not in 100 miles in one shoot. It was 100 miles broken down as many times as you like into October. Now, that doesn't sound too bad if you divide 100 miles into October, but remember, you got other things in the way, like how many work days you've got, and you might have holidays and birthdays, few christenings and school days, and then the weather. You got to think about your terrain, where you're going to run. If it's raining, you're going to go uphill, downhill, injuries, and nutrition as well. So when I first divided my 100 miles, I did it in how many rest days I've got, or possible days I could run. And then on that day, I looked at the weather, and if a bad weather patch was coming in, I'd do an hour before it or an hour after it, or get it in when you can. So basically I did the 100 miles actually a couple of days short, a couple of days early or short, however you think about it, to the end of October, beating my goal time. But I did have not an injury, but it's left me with a bit of a niggle. The last couple of runs, I did have a bit of pain in my right knee. Now, not an injury, it could just be, actually a friend did warn me, don't push too hard, too fast, too early, but run his knee. So, luckily, I completed my October challenge, got that out of the way, ticked it off. So now into November, I gave running a rest. I haven't done a lot of running. I've actually gone back into my gym, but I'm not strong enough to do weight training. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. So I've merged from running into fitness. I'm doing a bit of kettlebell sessions, a bit of barbell, body pump type sessions, and there's some body weight sessions I do. Like your legs, bums and tums, but I call it a legs and abs session. So that's like body weight lunges, squats, wide squats, front squats, then burpees, press-ups, sit-ups, squats, lion exercises for your abs, flutter kicks, bicycle kicks, leg raises, alternate V-sits and stuff like that. So that's what I've been doing. I try and make it so I don't do 2 kettlebell sessions in a row. I do mix and match, so it's like evens out the week. But what's happened is, though, it's become later and later and later. So you train late at night, say 9 o'clock at night on the one day for an hour, and then the next day I've gone in a bit later, and then a bit later, and then you're watching TV, and then you have food late, and then you leave it. So the last couple of days, the last week, I trained late at night, 11 p.m, 12 p.m, and I think it was even 3 in the morning when I shut my shed door one of the days. I think it was 1 in the morning and I trained for an hour, and then I thought, well, it's now 2 o'clock, I still feel fine, I might as well do another hour. So I think I did it twice until 3 in the morning. But the thing is, though, if you train till 3 in the morning, even though you might feel exhausted from the training, you're not going to sleep straight away. So I think it's probably 4 in the morning by the time I was in bed and I was going to sleep, but then I do wake at 7 or 8 in the morning, so I only had 4 hours sleep on that day. And even though you might feel fine the one day, have a nap or a snooze in the afternoon, the next day catches up, and the next day catches up. So last night, I accidentally fell asleep 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then I woke up this morning at 4:30. I felt fresh. Felt fresh at 4:30. I missed yesterday's training session, but that doesn't matter too much because I obviously needed the rest. But I had a good 8 hours sleep at least, and woke up at 4:30 fresh. So while I was up, I had to be up this morning at about 6 a.m. anyway, so I had an hour and a half to spare. So I ticked a few things off my to-do list. One of them, which I've been doing for the last couple of days, is painting. You can't see, I'm painting the staircase over there, the banister and stuff. While I'm painting, it gives you a lot of time to think. So a lot of things you can think about, passes the time. But what I've done is I've downloaded a new Audible book, an audio book I'm listening to. It's a great book. And that is my topic number 4 I'm going to talk about today. So I'm going to go on to that a little bit later on. But that's why I was up at 4:30 this morning. I've done a few tasks. November's fitness. Did a bit of the gym. Topic number 2, weight loss, my weight gain update. So the last weekend just gone, there's been a birthday in the family, so there's been a bit of cake flying around. There's been some as a curry on Saturday, so there's a sauce in the curry, and then some rice and some bread with your naan bread, and then some puddings. And then on Sunday there's normal roast, Sunday roast, but then potatoes, and then you get your puddings. And then the thing is with me is if I cheat with one meal, I think I might as well just keep cheating for that day. Have a good not overly smash it, but have a good cheat day, get out of the way, and then for the next week or two you can be strict. There's no point of half cheating, because once you've gone into the cheat mode, you might as well just keep on going. So Monday I think I had something, and Tuesday last night I had some pizza, and finishing off the cake from the weekend. So you might as well finish it off. So even though I have trained, diet's been a bit crap for the last couple of days, so weight has gone up, but that was to be expected. So for the next couple of days I'll try and be a bit more strict with my diet, train hard, and the weight should come back down again. So not a biggie. Am I going to reach 168 before Christmas? Probably not. As long as I'm in the low 170s, I'll be happy. But because I'm training this year with a bit of the weights, with the kettlebells and stuff, it's not a heavy weight, but you are going to get some abs and some bicep, a bit of muscle growth. So I might put a bit of weight back on actually this year, just from muscle. So it's not too bad. As long as I'm fit, as long as I'm strong and muscly and looking lean, then weight is just a number, but it is good to go off. So topic number 3. Now I don't want to mention this person's name. Actually, there's two characters' names, A and B. So we'll talk about number A first. I don't want to mention his name because I don't want anybody to inbox me or tag him in and then get millions of inboxes. This is just my vlog. If I look at some of my YouTube videos, there might be 0 views or even 1 or 2 views, and they might even be me looking to see if it's uploaded properly. So I'm not a successful channel, so I might be talking to myself, but I might get one person who watches it who might tag him in, and he might watch it, and then it might start off a viral slagging match. So I don't want that. This is just for me to say my reasons why I think it's not a good idea. I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to give it away. But basically, this one guy, he must have some fitness routine, and I've seen at least one person has now copied it, and now I saw this person's, I can't remember where I saw it. Was it Instagram or Facebook? But I saw this one person. I don't even think it was a person I know. I think it was somebody's clicked on like on someone else's update about this person's routine. So I can't even remember who it was. But basically, character A, the main character, has got his new routine, and he trains I think it's 0300, 3 a.m. in the morning a.m. So he wakes up about 2:15, 2:30. He gets up, he trains at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm thinking, why at 3 o'clock in the morning? Now, if you're an Olympic swimmer and you've got a full-time job and you've got to get a 2-hour training session in before your full-time job, that's okay. I know a lot of Olympic swimmers as well. One of them, she used to train at 5 in the morning because her dad used to be like a caretaker, have the key, open up the swimming pool so she can get in before the morning swimmers can get in and hog the lanes so she could do a good Olympic swim. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe he's got a reason. Maybe he's got a plane to catch. He's got, doesn't want to be jet lagged. Maybe he wants to acclimatise and get into the, he's got things to do. He's a busy man. But really what it is, he gets up at 2:30. He trains at 3 till 4. Then he has something to eat. And then he does a bit of this, a bit of that. Then he has a phone call. Then he does something else. Not a lot really going on. And by 7:30 p.m, 19:30 at night, he goes to bed. And then wakes up and does it again the next day. Now, I know he's obviously famous and he obviously works hard. And some of his job might be harder than that when he's doing his job. I'm not saying that. But on this routine, this day, there's no reason that it can't be at 6 a.m. and go to bed at 10:30 p.m. Because in the summer, it's still daylight at 7:30. Are you really going to get to sleep at 7:30? Birds are singing, children outside playing, cars and stuff, and your food shop delivery ringing the doorbell. You even get Amazon deliveries sometimes after 7:30 p.m, possibly. So you're not really going to get to sleep at that time. But is there any need to get up at 2:30 a.m? Like I said, I went to bed the other day at 4 a.m. I went to bed after he woke up. So I didn't see why. And even anyway, the 3 till 4 a.m. workout, what can you do in 1 hour? Now you can do quite a lot in that hour. I'm not saying that because some of my kettlebell sessions and that they last 45 minutes, but they're not heavy. They're fast with no rest. So it's like a fast, quick 45-minute, get it in, get it out. But there's no need to wake up in the morning to do that. If you're going to get up at 2:30 in the morning to have your breakfast, to let your breakfast settle, so then you can do a century bike ride. You want to do it at 4 in the morning, so then you can see the sunrise, and then you need to get back for 2 in the afternoon to at least make a half a day of family day. Fair enough. You want to get on the bike early to get the quiet roads, so then maybe you live in London, you want to get through the city traffic before morning rush hour to get onto the, the Surrey Hills or Kent or Essex, do a few hours bike rides and then get back, time it right to miss the lunchtime traffic, maybe. But just to do a 3 till 4 in the morning training session, it doesn't specify what the training session is. I don't see there's any need to do that. So don't copy that. Also on his schedule, there's nothing about cleaning the windows, hoovering, doing the shopping, taking the kids to school, to ballet, to gymnastics, to swimming lessons, parents' evenings, mowing the lawn, washing the car, laundry, cooking, cleaning, ironing. It's just basically does the training, eats a couple of times, answers a few phone calls, goes to bed. So unless you're really, really empty of things to do, you're not going to be able to do that in your lifestyle. Same really goes for character number B. He's not as famous. He's not a worldwide famous celebrity, but he is a big Instagrammer, big YouTuber. So I can't mention his name because he is famous. People will know what I'm talking about. But this guy, I know his routines are good. They are good because he does do what he says he's going to do, and he accomplishes quite a lot of things. He's a good all-round fitness guy. So sometimes he does cycling and he's pretty good at that. He does running, he's good at that. He does weight training and he's pretty good at that. So the routine itself is obviously working. But here's why it won't work for you. right? Because it's not practical for a few reasons. So he trains usually 3 times a day. So he wakes up at 4:30 in the morning, goes for a run. So some runs he goes short runs, some runs he goes long runs. Depends on what his goal is. He does marathons and ultra marathons, but he also does a couple of days where he does fast days. So like sprinting sessions and interval sessions and things like that. So some of the days he gets up in the morning, drives down the road, and he meets up with some friends to do a morning running club to get out of the way. But he lives in a hot country where even on his mild days, even in August and November, it's not even cold. His November now is probably warmer than my May and June, maybe. So what he's doing now at 4 in the morning, or 5 in the morning, you wouldn't be able to do that where I live at 4 in the morning. And I don't live in Canada. It's not as cold as them boys, but it's still a bit miserable. It's wet, it's cold, there's leaves on the floor and things, and it's slippy and raining and wet. Now you wouldn't be able to do that at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning anyway. But the reason why you wouldn't be able to do his training session 3 times a day is because he trains in the morning before work. So he drives to a place, he meets up with some friends, runs for an hour, drives from there to straight to work. Now, unless you own the company or you work in a really relaxed place, you can't really go to work without having a shower and getting changed, looking half decent smart. I've seen in one of his vlogs, he says he only showers once a day, probably before bed. So he goes straight to work without showering. Most employers will probably have something to say about that. And then he works in the morning, but he has food while he's working. So he's obviously his own boss. But not many jobs allow you to eat and drink while you're working. So if you work in a shop or on telephones or things, you might have strict policy where you can have a 10-minute break at a certain time, an hour dinner break at a certain time. They're not that flexible where you can just eat and drink unlimited whenever you can. So yeah, he probably does work hard in his job. He's successful. He's done things, but right now his job isn't. Yeah, it's stressful because he's at the top of the ladder, but it's not hard as in grafting wise. He can have as much breaks as he likes, and then he trains again at dinner time for sometimes like an hour. But if you're in a normal job, you've only got an hour. That's an hour from clocking out to an hour clocking back in. You haven't got an hour of training because then that's 10 minutes to get ready, 10 minutes to dry off. That's longer than an hour. So that's impossible as well. And in that hour, you might have to make phone calls to the doctors, get doctor's appointments, do a bit of shopping, do some tasks, eat your food and get back again. Again, he doesn't shower before going back to work. He's self-employed. A lot of managers might have something to say about that if you go back to work sweaty and hot. And then in the afternoon, he eats while he's working. Well, a lot of bosses will always say you should eat while you're resting and then work while you're working. And then after work, he'll train again. So sometimes it's straight away after work, but you're going to have things like the school run to deal with. And then he might train late at night, but you got bath time, bedtime. And the same with this character as character A. I've seen this house. He's got a massive house. Massive. He's got at least a couple of cars. He's got at least a couple of dogs. I don't think he's got any children, but his house is huge. On his daily planner, and actually on none of his vlogs ever, have I ever seen him cutting the grass, cutting the hedges, painting the fences, painting the garage, painting the shed, cleaning the gutters, washing the windows, hoovering, ironing, I've seen him cooking. I've never seen him cleaning. Never seen him doing laundry. Never seen him washing his 1 or 2 cars. I've never seen him doing any maintenance or manly or femaly or any household tasks ever. I've only ever seen him training, talking, cooking and eating. So bearing that in mind, how are you going to fit in your 3 training sessions in your work and your normal stuff? Yeah, he goes to parties and stuff, but most of his vlogging videos, his good ones, are done by somebody else. While he's running, he pays for somebody else to video him. He then pays that guy to edit his videos. So I'm sure he pays a window cleaner. He's got a carpet fitter. He's got this. He's got that. He's got people to wash his cars. He's cut his grass. He's got cleaners and cooks and maids and slaves and everybody. When he's cycling, he's got a cycling coach. Running, he's got a running coach. Swimming, he's got a swimming coach. I'm not sure if he just says he's got a coach just to advertise their coaching skills, or is he actually paying them? Maybe they say, I'll train you for free as long as you advertise my thing and stick me in the video. But if he is paying them, you're not going to be able to afford to pay for 3 different instructors. Well, maybe you can, but the average person who's on less than 20,000 a year coming up to Christmas, can you afford 3 personal trainers at your house? He even pays these people to go to his running events and his cycling events and his swimming events, plane tickets and hotels and food and everything. So really, realistically, are you going to be able to train at 3 in the morning, go to bed at 7 at night? Really, are you going to be able to train 3 times a day and have 3 different coaches and go to all these different places and cut the grass and attend appointments and everything? Really? So what I'm trying to say is, yes, get motivation from these people, but it's not real. It's not realistic and it's not real. Real is the word. It's not. It's fake. It's all, the vlogs are fake. It's all scripted, but it's edited and it's all fake. It's set up because you cannot do this in the real day-to-day life. Most people struggle to get to the gym once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week for an hour at a time. Then I'm about 3 times a day for 2 hours at a time a day. Going on to number 4, right? This is an interesting little thing. Number 4, like I said, I got this new audiobook on Audible, and I listen to it on my headphones, so it passes the time when I'm painting, and it gives me a lot of things to think about, passes the time, and it's a really good book. I'm not going to mention the name just yet. I might wait till the finish of it and then we might tell you, but I'm not going to tell the name of it. I've got to be careful here because I don't want to do any copyright and Secrecy Act or anything like that. But anyway, I'll only say what's in the book. So I'm not going to say too many details, and I don't want to spoiler alert you. But it's about a guy who's in his book and he's got a job. Yeah, I'll do it in code actually. He's got a job and I can sort of guess what age he is from the job. He doesn't mention it in the book, but I can sort of guess. And then he's a bit bored. It's getting a bit mundane. It's a bit the same with this and same with that. And the excitement has gone from his job and he's looking for something new and something a bit fresh. And then one day on his memo, we'll call it, on his daily memo, it pops up. There's an interesting new temporary vacancy going, and it's for volunteers to volunteer for a temporary vacancy, but it's quite hard. Be warned, this vacancy is quite hard, and there's a bit of a interview process to get selected for this vacancy. So he asks a couple of guys he works with, hey, have you heard about this vacancy before? And they go, oh, I've heard about it. Don't bother. It's bloody hard and you won't like it. And then someone else he meets down the street and he goes, have you ever heard about it? He goes, yeah, I've done it before and it's pretty good actually. If you want to go for it, have a go. And it's quite good on your CV and it'd be quite interesting, and give it a bash. Now, this got my ears going because it's changed its name slightly, but I have once heard about this job vacancy before, and it's changed its name, but I did once think about it, and now this is the topic of the video. My catchphrase is, it's not as hard as you think. Nothing's as hard as you think it's going to be. It's not that hard. A degree isn't that hard because there's thousands of people who've passed it. Driving license isn't that hard. Millions of people can drive. At the time it's hard, you think it's hard, you're nervous, but it's not that hard. You can pass it. Everything is possible. A world record isn't that hard because the next year someone else beats it. And then in 10 years' time, that record is quite easy. The 4-minute mile, a few people have smashed that these days. The marathon, the times get faster every year. So it's not that hard. I said not that hard, it's still bloody hard. So this guy, he doesn't say how old he is, but I'm guessing he might be minimum 25 because of the job role he's in. So I'm thinking most people, his job role have probably got a degree. So degree means you're 21 years old. You probably got A-levels and whatever degree you've got, you're probably 21 years old. And then by the time you've interviewed for this job and you've gone in for a couple of years and you got promoted a couple of times, this job role, you probably got 25 years old, maybe 26. So actually, that's getting on a bit. Because if you'd have entered this job without a degree, you could be 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22. He's 25, 26. So the body's more mature, the brain's more mature, and your character's more mature. So things you think are hard when you're 16, when you're 26, I think are half as hard. And then when you're 36, I think they're half as hard again. I'm 37 now, and the things I thought were hard when I was 17 and 27, I think they are half as hard and half as hard again. I really do. Driving when I was 17 was quite hard. When I was 27, it's probably half as hard. 37, I can't do it with my eyes closed, but I can do it pretty good in the dark. So he's got this job. He's a bit bored. He asks to go for this voluntary, what do they call it? Voluntary role. And there's a bit of a training process for it. Obviously, you need to train for your new job role. And a couple of things he talks about in the training process. At the time, you think they're hard, but they're not actually that hard. I'll change the topic. I'll pretend to change the topic. I'm gonna fox you now. Is this the real topic or is it not the real topic? Right, let's talk about running. Is this the real topic or not? Just for example, let's just say when I was 17 in the army, running 2 miles or 4 miles or 6 miles at the time probably felt quite hard. But I got relatives and friends and family who are in their 40s who can run marathons on the weekend for fun. Ultra marathons, 30 odd miles, ultra marathons and 50 odd miles, and 2 miles to them is their warm up. And some people as well, they do the old switcheroony. They try and talk about kilometers instead of miles. Like this guy in this book, for example, if you're talking about map reading, I know a lot of people do kilometers because it's easier to work out. One box is a kilometer, and then you can divide it into 10, so that's obviously 100 meters. So then you can work out then your grid lines, and working on a map, it might be a bit easier to work it in kilometers. And then you got to convert yourself from miles and kilometers. But in Britain, we use miles. So, for example, in the army, I know that in the 2000s when I was in the army, there was a 1.5 mile running test. Paras do a 10 miler, a 20 miler. Marines do a 30 miler. Navy SEALs talk about miles because they're in America. The marathon is 26 miles. But then everyone starts switching it to, I did a 5K. Because they want to make that 3 miles sound further, make it into kilometers. So this guy, he talks about kilometers at one time, he talks about miles at one time, so making it a bit harder. But like I said, I got relatives and friends and family who run further and faster. At the time, you think running, say, 5K is hard, but it's only 3 mile. It's only 18-minute run. It's not that bad, really. I know people this weekend has gone, did half marathon race. in North Wales. The weekend before that, there's a half marathon race in South Wales. Manchester Marathon is a few weeks ago. London Marathon is a few weeks ago. Chester Marathon is a few weeks before that. People run marathons for fun. They pay to run a marathon for fun. So when I was in the army and they got told to run a 5 mile, you think it's hard when you're 17, but actually when you're 37, and you think about it, it's not actually that hard. You might wake up at 6 in the morning to do a bit of PT session, and say in the army, and you think, oh, I've got to do 6, but it's not that hard because say you're in the army, and just say you get told to do a 6 o'clock in the morning run, and you run 5k or 10k, say 10k, 6 mile run, and that takes you what, 50, 60 minutes if you stop and do a few press ups on the way. A lot of civilians run at 6 in the morning before work. Army run at 6 in the morning for work. You're actually getting paid. That is your job. You start at 6 in the morning, you're paid. Don't feel bad about army guys who do a run at 6 in the morning, because then they go back to the room and they have 2 hours off to shower, and then 10:30 they have a break, and then at 12 o'clock they have a break, and then they finish by 4. They have shower time. Civilians, when they go for a run at 6 in the morning, they then got to run to work, rush to work, and then work all day. Like the other guy said, he trains 3 times a day in his dinner break after work. Yeah, his life isn't that hard, but a lot of the normal general public people working in factories, they got to drive to work and then drive home from work. They haven't got all the sports nutrition and the coaches and the physiotherapists. If you've got to work and graft on a building site, you're squeezing that running in the morning. And I know friends and family who are fitter and faster, and they got a normal job, and they got kids. This character in the book, he hasn't got kids. He hasn't got a house. So that means then he doesn't have to wash his car. He doesn't have to, well, actually he has got a car. He doesn't have to cut his lawn. He doesn't cut his hedges. He doesn't have to take out the recycling, do the trash. He doesn't do the shopping, the cooking, the cleaning, the ironing. In his job role in the book, it's not that hard really. Yeah, he's got a bit of a stressful role, but he's not on the cold front. He's not doing what the lowest of the low do. He's not carrying, well, yes, actually carrying a lot of pressure on him, but he hasn't got to do other stuff as well. So think about, in books, they make it sound harder. They use descriptive words. He went for a run at 4 in the morning when it was still frosty and the weather was this and it was icy and we all shivered, and people do that for fun. And then they go to work and then they do the school run and they do this and that and that. So it's a great book. I'm not saying it's not a great book. I might talk about it a few more times in the vlogs coming up as I get more into it. But basically, my 3 characters, don't copy them. Character A, don't wake up at 3 in the morning to do workout if you don't have to. It's just as it'll be just as good at doing it during the day or in the evening. As long as you're eating and sleeping 8 hours a day or whatever you need. Don't do it at 3 in the morning. Just do it normal time. Don't copy me at doing it midnight. That's a bit crazy because it'll ruin your body clock. Just do it in the day, normal times, and you'll be good. Don't copy person B, because unless you can afford all the trainers and fitness trainers, not trainers, unless you can afford to train 3 times a day and go to work and do your house jobs, it's probably going to be actually it's too much anyway. Do you need to train 3 times a day? But you won't get it in. Just be successful in your own life. Do your normal jobs and do 3 sessions a week or whatever you're doing. Don't copy person B. And then person number C, character C, it's not that hard. Like I said, you probably got dogs and cats and windows and other things to cook and clean. A 5k run at 6 in the morning isn't that hard. Obviously, people are fitter and some people are faster and some people aren't as fit, and 3K to some people doing the couch to 5K. 3K is a bit of a challenge. Like my 100 miles to me was a bit of a challenge. But whatever your challenge is, it's not that hard. It's obviously doable if someone else has done it before. It probably decreases, example, 50% every 10 years. When you thought your GCSEs were hard when you're 16, when you're 26, they're not that bad. When you're 36, they'll be half as hard again. So stick at it. Pick a challenge. Make it real. Make it realistic. Make it doable, because it is doable. Every challenge is doable, as long as you haven't picked an impossible one. Everest at one point was impossible. Now it's a walk in the park. Obviously, it is hard. Challenges are hard. They're meant to be hard. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a challenge. But everything's doable. And yeah, that's my little ranty long video for the month. And I better get back to my painting. My brush will be going hard. Okay. See you soon for some more videos. And actually, I might as well talk for I'll wind up to 37-minute video. I have done other videos. I've recorded near enough every single fitness session I've done in November, but because they're at least an hour long on my GoPro, they're taking a lot of time to upload. So I'm going to have to upload one at a time, just the amount of storage space on my tablet and GoPro. It's 2 memory cards full. So I might upload them. I'm not going to edit them, just stick them on just so you can see what I do. You could even play them in the background and copy it. Okay, stay tuned. See you later.